Very good morning to everyone. We are continuing the 8 golden rules. In the last lecture, we have discussed about the first 4 golden rules, and in this lecture, we are going to discuss the rest of the 4 golden rules. So after this lecture, we will came to about what are the 8 golden rules and how we will apply these golden rules and how it will be efficient. It will make a efficient interface. The next golden rule, the 8 golden rule is proposed by Ben Sinderman in his classic book on human-computer interactions. These rules are heuristically there is no clear-cut mathematical improvement, but it is these rules are working well. It is established through several empirical studies, and it will helpful to make a efficient interface. So fifth rule is error prevention and handling. So design the system such that user cannot make a serious error. So what kind of options you need to use for that? You may need to use menu selection or form filling. If there is a menu selection option is there, so you have to select a particular menu. Okay, so there is no chance you perform any error. Or if you form filling and if the options are given there in a checkbox, then you may require to select a options from there. There are also some kind of error prevention there. There are also chance of error because you have to select a particular menu and you have selected wrong menu. That kind of error can possible, but catastrophic error cannot be possible. Okay, because every menu having a different kind of actions. Okay, so you may not find your intended action whatever you have required, but you have to go for a wrong action. But system deletion or this kind of error cannot be possible. So if user make a error, then system need to detect this error and offer a simple and constructive and specific instruction for recovery of the error. You have to design the system in such a way that your system detect the error and give a simple and constructive feedback to you. After reading that feedback, you will able to recover from this error. Okay, system should be highlighted and right step how to go ahead. For one example, we can given if you use master in the Microsoft PowerPoint. Okay, whenever you are making a slide, if you use the master slide, then all the slide will design as the layout you have specified in the master slide. So whenever we are going to design the different slide, the same kind of options will be you can easily use. Okay, if you are not use that same master slide, then maybe the designing of the different side maybe different page may be different. Okay, so these there are several techniques we can use for the error prevention. Like I'm giving one example. Suppose you have used some text in the software where you can type any kind of text. Okay, so in the text in the software, if I use um, like error correction or error prevention mechanism, spell checking I can use for a error correction mechanism. If you write anything and spelling mistake is there, then this particular person will be highlighted in red color. Okay, so from there we can prevent the error. Okay, or we can give some suggestion also. Okay, we can give some predicted word also. Okay, the nearby word. Okay, so in that way we can prevent or handling the word error. This facility is integrated with Microsoft Word. Whenever you type, if you type a wrong word, then there the word will be marked as a red color. Okay, if you click there, they will suggest it what will be the possible nearby what. Okay, so in this way they are designing, whenever the designing they are considering on their mind the error prevention and handling techniques also. Then permit easy reversal of action. Okay, whenever you have perform one operations, there should be undo or redo operation should be embedded on your interface, okay, on your system. Okay, otherwise what happened, you may feel anxiety, okay, that whatever step I have taken, that step may be wrong step, how to return back the previous step. So that kind of anxiety should be there. If we use Microsoft Word, so there is a undo or redo option is there, so we need not to think on that. Okay, if we perform very wrong thing, then we can press Ctrl Z to return back the previous step. Okay, so that's why we are, whenever we are going to using Word, Microsoft Word, we are a little bit relaxed mode. Okay, if that option is not there, then every step you have to think, okay, what I'm doing, what I am done, that is right or wrong, right or wrong. You have to check multiple times. Okay, so this kind of problem may be there. Then next option is internal locus of control. So internal locus of control is basically whenever you have using the system, you have think the system will be designed in such a way that you think that you have the master on the particular systems. Okay, so mastery of the user is kept here. The system should be very much user friendly and response of the action should be fast. Okay, otherwise what happened, you may be bored with the particular interface or particular system. Okay, so it is sometimes difficult. If you find any difficulty to accomplishing your tasks or your job, you may frustrated with the system. So system should be designed in such a way that you are thinking that you have controlling all the things. Okay, system is controlled, you have control the system, but whenever you think system is control you, then at that moment your proficiency may be done. Then the system should be designed in such a way that it will reduce the short-term memory load. Okay, so the display should be keep simple. Okay, and multiple page displays would be consolidated. Okay, there should be some comment syntax or application from code and other things would be there that you can perform your work very fast. Okay, the things is that we said we should design in such a way that you need not to remember lot of things in your memory. If you remember, then you have to recall from your memory. Recalling from your memory, the two things may be happened. One is you may recall, there is a extra time is required for recalling the things, and moreover there is some problem with recalling. You may not recall the appropriate things. These two things may be happened. So we should design in such a way that it will, you need not to remember a lot of things. Okay, so it will reduce the short-term memory load. So these are the 8 golden rules. Whenever we are going to design any interface, we have to use this golden rule. Okay, if you consider any kind of board interface, you can find out they are following at least 4 or 5 different golden rules. If you take Microsoft Word, okay, you can find out they are following at least 5 to 6 golden rule. Okay, properly. Okay, for any different kind of, if you consider only basic actions, then you will find out that they are following at least 5 to 6 golden rules. Then we are going for prevention of errors. Okay, so error is a very serious issue. Okay, so user error can be, for the inexperienced user, they can perform lot of error. Okay, and sometimes the task is infeasible. Whenever we design a task in such a way that options are infeasible, then also error can be possible. Okay, the two-way error can be possible. One is the user quality, that is intermediate user or novice user, they can perform any error. Sometimes the options or the tasks you have designed in such a way that people are go for the error already committed. Okay, so design error due to bad design. Okay, so bad design is if I not use the consistent item in the proper place. Okay, if I use not the proper things, okay, in that particular place, okay, then the error will be there. Okay, then people go for the committed the error. So design does not follow any principles. Okay, you cannot if one design is given to you, you cannot say that it is a very good design for everybody. It may be satisfied for lot of user. Okay, there is no mathematical foundation or theoretical foundation that the design is very good. Okay, means you can measure qualitatively, but quantitatively measurement is difficult. Okay, there are models available to measuring quantitatively. Whenever we are going to read the cognitive model, at that moment you may understand these things. But still now, we may say that means there is some rules for designing, but you cannot say that you come here and learn the rule and you have designed it that way. So designing is basically somehow you have to learn from the experience. Okay, that's the thing. Okay, how to system need to deal the error. Error message should be provided by the system. Okay, an error message should be provided in such a way that is it is in constructive way. So what is the error and what will be the possible why the error and what will be the possible suggestive step should be given there, and error message should be more specific. Okay, it should be unambiguous. Ambiguous error message is not a good thing. Okay, so from there you cannot understand where the error, and it should be constructive. It should tell you what to do rather than report an error. Okay, so it should tell you what to do and why this error, that it will give you understanding how to resolve this error. Okay. So, for other than error message, more effective approach to prevent the error from occurring. Okay. So, for preventing the error, you have to know the nature of the error. Okay. Why error is happened? People may make error due to sleep. Whenever we are typing, okay, due to sleep, we may perform different kind of sleeping errors. Okay. So you have to design in such a way that it should be organized in such a way that sleeping uh, not possible. Okay, it should reduce the sleeping. Okay, you may use the menus. Okay, to reduce the error. You may use consistent design. Okay, and you may use some prediction technique that will reduce the error. Okay, so these are the technique you may use for the preventing the error. But one thing, error will be happen. Okay, you cannot find out any 100% system that is 100% error free. Okay, but still you have used some kind of error prevention technique. I am giving one example. Okay, in a mobile, whenever you are typing, okay, whenever your fingertip is come closer to a key, or whenever it is touched to key, you will find out that key will be enlarged. Okay, if it is not enlarged, then what happened? It can be, your fingertip can be go to the adjacent key. Okay, so that is a way to preventing the error. Okay, the fingertip, whenever it is touched, this portion is enlarged. Okay, if it is not enlarged, your tip may go to the adjacent keys. Okay, so this reference you may use for further reading. For any questions, you may contact with me through the mail ID. Thank you for listening to my lecture.